are listening to a High Standard production.
All right, man. Welcome back to the Geek Set Podcast, the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces in the building, and this is One-on-One with Deuces, where I speak with the creators, content creators, culture pushers, and people you should know. And right now, man, I'm speaking with somebody that I'm a true fan of, been a fan of for quite some time, man. North Philly's own. It is North Philly, right?
Yep,
North Philly's own Justin Richburg. Man, how you doing, my brother?
Chilling, bro, chilling.
Chilling? Yeah, man.
Nasty ass white pizza.
Where'd you get it from?
Save You Pizza. Oh my God. Why say that? They're gonna spit in my shit next time.
I'll bleep it out for you. Man. How's COVID been treating you though? How's this shit been in this crazy ass time?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It hasn't affected me at all. I'm gonna be honest. If anything, like it made my stuff like pop even more, you know. Mm-hmm. So I would say like I'm blessed to be one of them people where COVID didn't like affect them like that.
Yeah. You know what I realized is for like a lot of the people that are creators, so like, you know, artists, you know, just in general, people who can create in their own space, this just really sat them down and allowed them to just create more. Especially based off of what I've been seeing when, like I said, doing my research and looking at some of the interviews with you. I mean, you were already, you know, to yourself for the most part. So like, I can see how that wouldn't affect you as much.
Yeah, because, you know, like with doing art, it's like a solitude thing. You know, like I tried, like, you know, working in group settings and going out, you know, like to cafes and shit like that to like do work, but I find myself like too distracted because I got like real bad ADHD. You know, so when I get like people around me, I just start drawing, my head start like looking at everybody. I can't do it. I can't do it.
So yeah, so that's dope, man. Like one of the things that I want to make sure that I do and that we do on every episode is we make sure we give people their flowers while they're here, right? Yeah. So I want to like kind of where I got introduced to you, which was earlier than I think a couple of other people did, because I know a lot of people got introduced to you via the dice game picture. Yeah. I actually got introduced to you and I don't know what the official name for this picture was, but I think it was the sports scouting one. You were saying kids get scouted out at a young age. It was the kid with the basketball.
Yeah.
But what was funny is the way I got introduced to you. I don't know if you remember, but somebody was posting that image trying to take credit for that shit. And then like, so like when I saw it, like I'll make sure people get like their credit and shit like that. So you had mobilized like your followers was like, hey man, make sure y'all tag and let them know that it's me. So like, I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. So I was riding with you on that shit. I was tagging that nigga like, hey man, tag my nigga Justin on this shit. Like that's how I got introduced to you. But then like, I just like seeing more and more work and it was like, got to see that growth. So I got to see, you know, how everything came about. So like when you dropped the dice game picture for me, I wasn't shocked because I'm like, I already been, you know, following bro, seeing, you know, his thought process or how he thinks, you know, with his images. But it was like, that's where I got introduced to you. But I wanted to let you know, like I know like you're, like I said, you are a very reserved person. You can tell by when you're doing like podcasts and interviews, you don't really turn up and shit like that. But like your work, despise what all the naysayers say, like it's very, very important to the culture. Like a lot of the times, like shit will happen that I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to make sure I check Justin's page because I want to see if he has a take on this because of how your thought process. So I want to make sure you know that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers fuck with you. I know like it's easy to see a lot of the hate, but there's a whole lot of love out there for you, bro.
Yeah, I do. You know, it's hard to see it sometimes, like, you know, like from like first person point of view, but like in like third person, like you definitely like do see it. Cause there do be times, you know, like when I be sitting here, sometimes I would like, dang man, like is like anything happening? Cause you know things can like be quiet for like months sometimes, but then that one thing will pop off, and then like it'll reassure you that like, oh shit, yeah, I am like doing something out here. You know, it's hard to tell like when you're in like the rat race. You know.
Yeah. And what the one thing that I realized about you, because like, you know, obviously like when the dice game picture came out and everybody was asking you like, oh man, what was your thought process? You was like, damn, it's just my favorite people doing hood shit. Like, but like on the outside, like when I was looking at the YouTube comments, I was seeing people like, oh man, you know what I'm saying, he's not giving them no energy, he's being simple. And I'm like, nah, so y'all looking at it a different way. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I view it as. So, you know, like, you know, being from Philly, of course, you know about, you know what I'm saying, freestyles and niggas spitting and shit. But like, you know, there's those people that truly freestyle, right? Whereas like you can throw anything at them. You can say lamp and then they can rap, you know what I'm saying, rhyme shit about lamps and shit. But like, even though like they're just rhyming off the what you just gave them, there is still a scheme to it that make it dope. That's how I view like your artistry, because you say like, you know, I just draw shit that's going on in the world, right? But you also said that you got to know the source material in order to make it relevant. So like when you look at that dice game picture, yeah, you said it's your favorite people doing hood shit, but because you knew Kevin Hart got drunk at the Eagles game, like you was able to to display that in that image. Like it's like you freestyling, but there's still a science to it, but it wasn't as deep as people thought. It was literally like, all right, this is shit that I'm seeing going on. I know the source material, so I can embody these characters in these pictures.
Yeah, because the thing about it, you know, is like you just can't just make like just random shit. You have to like put little things here and there that make people like wrap their head around it to make them think it's more than what it is. You know, just like I'm surprised that nobody said anything about me putting Will Smith next to Tupac in the back, cause you know, cause their history.
Yeah.
But the main person everybody focused on for real, was the Charlemagne in the back with him poking his head out. Yeah. That and like the jersey combination, like the way I had like Jordan on top, Kobe in the middle, and LeBron jersey on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know why people was like so freaked out about like Barack and Michelle. I don't know. People just like so uptight about stuff, because that picture for real is like ain't crazy at all. You know, there's been stuff like done like that, but, you know, not like on social media. The thing that like really like set that joint off, if we're gonna be all be honest, you know, was Charlemagne, because you know when you text something and like he's like a very like sarcastic person when he writes certain things, you know, like people thought that he was being serious, and because you know like hate spreads further than love, that's what like really set it off. Because if he never like shared it and wrote that caption like that, it would never rung off the way it did. That's an important thing people have to realize. It's like even when I first started my IG and Wale was like the first person like to show me love. Mm-hmm. Was what he wrote in the caption that made everybody follow me, and that's how I got my first like 10K followers. Yeah, it basically like, LOL, how much will it be to sign this person? And that's when everybody started following me. Yeah. And that's how like that stuff goes, because people don't realize how much a caption like goes far. Because you know you can repost something, but it all depends on the caption.
That's true, because like, and that's the thing, like, you know, even just from a person standpoint, you put so much thought process into, all right, I got the dope ass image, what I'm gonna say or what I'm gonna hashtag and shit like that. And with art, it's definitely different, because some pieces can be taken out of context. You know, like you'll post something and then people will take it out of context. Like I was reading one interview where you were saying like the one thing that gets under your skin is that because of some of the stuff that you posted, people like they created that narrative that you don't like black women, and you're like, no, like I'm celebrating this shit.
I don't want, because you know what it is, because I tell you like what happened with that. Because, you know, like, I like sharing, like, my stuff, like, people that's, like, close to me, or I assume that's, like, close to me. Yeah. You know, I find out that a lot of people really ain't my friends, you know. So, it's like, I shared this one picture. It was, like, an unfinished picture. It was, like, a picture of, you know how parents, like, show both their kids, like, oh, they know how to do this, know how to do that, like, when they're, like, 2 or something like that, and then they end up growing up, like, ain't being shit. Yeah. You know, and I shared like an unfinished version of that thing. And when the person posted it, it looked like I was shitting on dark-skinned females. And then that's when like somebody from Harvard, like with blue check on Twitter, like shared it, and she was talking down on me. And that's how that whole narrative happened. And then, you know, like them people would come to my page, and what they would do to make it look like I don't like black women is by like screenshotting certain pictures. And you know, like how people make them like little bullshit memes. That's how that basically like started. Like basically saying I make light-skinned women look better in a better light, you know. And it's like no, like I prefer like dark-skinned females. You know, dark-skinned females just don't show me the time of day, you know, until
yeah, but you know what? That's that surface level bullshit that people be looking at, because that's the same thing that I always look at. Like when I start looking at certain shit, I start saying like, okay, like let's look at the whole scope of things, right? So if somebody goes to your page and they see like the first 8 images and it's just that, and they already got that bias, then they're like, oh, look, see, right? But like I said, that's why, you know, I value when I follow people or like I see their career. So like I said, when I started, like I said, you had about probably like 60K or some shit like that. Like you had a good amount of followers by the time I got onto you, right? But like to see how things elevated, like, you know what I'm saying? Like even like being a fan of the Brilliant Idiots, and then when Charlamagne did bring you on, because I remember that moment when Charlamagne captioned it, I'm like, dang, I'm like, cause like I'm already envisioning, I'm like, fam, this is somebody Charlamagne will fuck with. But I got that caption did seem kind of sarcastic. But then when to see him bring you on, and then, you know what I'm saying, y'all relationship to like, you know, evolve and developing, you know what I'm saying, for him, you know, to be, you know, calling you his guy and like bring you on, I was like, that's dope, because I can see that because of the way that you view it in the world and the way he views the world. Like, yeah, there's going to be a little satire in some of the shit that you do, but like there's still a message to it, you know?
Yeah, it's always a message and stuff. I don't just like throw like random stuff out. You know, I got like a method, you know, like you just can't put stuff out just be putting stuff out, you know, like there's, you know, I got the things, you know, for people that like troll stuff, you know, I put that out. You know, deep stuff, you know, I try to, you know, like to tackle like, you know, everything, you know, for everybody, you know. But by doing that, I kind of like to dilute my fan base, and it kind of becomes like divided, because like my number is like constantly up and down because of that. You know, only certain people like, you know, will interact with certain things that I put out. Like people that like basketball stuff, they only follow me for basketball stuff. They'll only, you know, like interact with basketball stuff. Troll stuff, you know, they'll only, you know, same thing. Like even like for things like celebrating black women, you know, they'll only like come out for certain things. So, you know, like some stuff like that I have to like tighten up on if I want my base to grow, especially now since I'm in the space of like creating shows. Like I have like a TV show that's like being shopped around right now called All Over the Place.
Is that clip that you you posted on your Twitter?
Yeah.
Yep. So I was going to ask you that, like how far is that? So like you have like the pilot and shit done?
Yeah, I have the pilot, I have the pitch deck done, you know, just now I just, you know, just being shopped around, you know, like I can't say everything that's going on with it.
Yeah, I know.
I will say that it's close to being like a reality, you know.
Oh.
It's supposed to be in reality, and I have a comic book.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about that.
Manga. It's a manga. Only reason I say comic book because a lot of people don't know what manga means.
But it's more of a manga, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a manga. It's called Kayla.
Yeah. I was gonna say Kayla, her design is dope as fuck, and that's one of the things that I'm super excited about. So like I put you. You know, like there's a lot of people that I'm championing right now. You know what I'm saying? Trill League, you know what I'm saying? Like these people that are there's the other dude named I think his name Bouncer Comics, but like all of you guys who are doing illustration and mangas, or you know what I'm saying, or strips based off of black culture that is going to, you know, that is being shopped around. Like I'm excited about that. And that's the thing, like when I see shit like that, like I said, me personally, I know there's other people that feel like that, but me personally, I attach certain people when I'm seeing that shit. I get happy for their success and their grind, because I'm like, look, I want to see this brother win. I want to see that not only because I believe in what this work that you're doing, but because even just your imagery, like Kayla's design with her hair braided and like the, you know what I'm saying, the way it drapes over, like. You ain't gonna see that in other animes. You know what I'm saying? You do the way they do black people in animes or mangas, like they do us dirty sometimes. Some of our most beloved animes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like even like I love Dragon Ball, like I said, live and die by Dragon Ball, but like it wasn't until we got Oob that we was done at least decent. Like we had Mr. Popo, we had the boxer dude.
He was black. I thought that he was like Indian. I think he was more Indian.
Yeah, he was more Indian, but that's what I'm saying. Like at least I can, you know what I'm saying, at least a little bit relate to it, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they had us looking bogus that to the point we was like, well, Piccolo's black. We had to bring Piccolo to us and shit.
Piccolo is one of the top TV fathers, black TV fathers of all time.
Man, all time, man. He stepped in and raised Gohan.
Not even his own son.
Yeah.
That's a real nigga right there. Like,
hey, question. I want to ask you, because we talked about this on our podcast. What type of music you think Piccolo listened to?
Smooth R&B.
Huh?
Smooth R&B.
Smooth R&B. I can still listen to that but that's what I said. I said it has to be something common because he's always meditating. He's always like, you know what I'm saying, trying to get his key together and shit like that.
Erykah Badu type boy. That's what he probably is.
Yeah. That's definitely his wave. You also, you know what I'm saying, and one thing that I noticed, you are a sneakerhead.
Yeah, I used to be, but it's like
slow down.
Yeah, because you know, like the resellers, I'm just not spending like $300 or like $250 on sneaks anymore. You know, it's like it's just weird. It's like I find myself like wearing Chucks and Vans all the time, and now I just wear Uggs, like, you know, the men Uggs all the time. You know, I wear those like literally all the time. I've been actively getting rid of shoes. Like, you know, it's like cool. Like I just transitioned out of it. You know, it's something I thought that I loved, but yeah, it really wasn't. Like, especially like you just find yourself just wearing Chucks and Vans all the time.
Now, a lot of artists do dabble into fashion. Is that ever in your retrospect? Is that anything that you're interested in doing?
Like I said, like I used to be like really like heavy into that stuff. You know, a lot of that stuff is based off of like the type of hair I had. You know, like when I used to have a box before my barber fucked me up. You know, I was like, you know, dressing more like 90s, like Will Smith type person. And now, like when I have my braids, I'm more into like West Coast.
I would say you do look West Coast as fuck, bro.
Yeah, like I base like my look off of Old Dog from Mr. Society, Snoop Dogg, a little bit NWA. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I really do. You know, because I found myself as a person. Because, you know, like since I'm laid back, you know, like, you know, it finally matches. You know, all them loud colors did not match my personality at all.
You know what? I think there was one time I saw a picture of you and you had the cross color jacket, and I was looking. I'm just like, man. I'm like, and then when I heard you talking, like when I listened, because like for the longest, all I saw was the work. So I didn't really hear you speak until you was on the Brilliant Idiots. And I was like, man, I didn't expect him to be as chill. Like you know what I'm saying? Because I think about my introduction and what I know about Philly is the Philly rappers. You know what I'm saying? So I expected you to be on there like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Justin, like, that's not what you is at all.
Because, you know, because like the reason why behind it, you know, I am like a introvert, you know, but it's like, because like I have the platform, you know, and I'm like trying to take it seriously as a business. I try like to pick and choose like how I present myself. You know, you gotta be careful about that. Even though I do troll online, it is like kind of weird, like me be laid back. But
I got a question about one of your major trolls.
I will type some like crazy stuff. Like I said, I don't make no sense at all as a person, for real. But go ahead.
No, so the major troll, and I don't know the backstory in regards to it or anything like that. But this whole Tyler Perry situation.
That's my dad. Fuck that.
Hey,
child support.
Low key, I was like, look, when you first said it, I was like, all right, it's hilarious. But then when TMZ picked it up, I was like, oh shit, like wait a minute, what is going on? But then they deleted it.
That was a real TMZ post. Like
I know it was. I saw it
quick, and then they deleted it. Listen, it's only a matter of time. Okay, you make enough noise.
Yep.
They'll eventually, you know, the dog will eventually bark back at the moon. So it's only a matter of time.
Has anybody reached out to you about that?
Yeah, one person, but I'm not gonna say who they is though. I'm gonna save that for another time.
All right. So, a lot of work that you did though, like I said, so like a lot of the wins that you did the whole character design for Childish Gambino Feels Like Summer. You said, like I said, the Black History Dice game that kind of got you into front of a lot of people. You got a chance to speak your truth in front of stuff. You said you did, you know, you did some work with Google, worked with a couple of artists.
Yeah, that's the one thing too. Everybody keep overlooking. Like everybody keep forgetting. Like I ain't do like no work for Google. That really pissed me off. Like
Man, no, that's huge, bro.
Google art shit. That's why I had like a manager. I had like a manager at the time. Like he no, cause they reached out, but he helped like set that up. Like not Jay. That was my bull. But like it's too bad. Like it didn't like work out because like I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I wish I still like had him like in my corner right now to help me out with certain stuff, especially now that I know like where my future is going. Cause like I know in the long run I'm going to end up becoming like a director probably. I know I'm gonna have my own production company in the future. A director. I'll definitely be making shows and selling them off.
Have you done film work?
Huh?
Have you done film work already?
There's a short film that I'm gonna be working on soon. It's just like I'm just waiting for the contract to be finished. Yeah. It's a short film.
Do you have a team? Like so because the one thing I usually see you just solo dolo, so you don't really
I do everything by myself. Cause here's the thing, it's not like I'm actively like not looking.
Right.
I did not hit you in the face. Calm down. Calm down, Nove. Calm down.
A war going on over there.
It's not like I haven't been actively looking. It's just that like people don't stick. You know, I had a manager that helped me out in the beginning, but he didn't stick. He kind of like fucked things up like with Wale because I was supposed to have gotten signed to Wale when he started like his own label like a while back called Every Blue Moon. So, there's people just don't stick, like I just do everything on my own. I mean, you're not supposed to do everything on your own, but that's been like my path. So
hey, I want to talk to you today about GeekSetPodcast.com, the only place that blends hip-hop culture and geek culture together in one place, and the only place to get your official Geek Set swag. Go to our shop and view our wide selection that we offer, from the No Dubs collection, Big Bit Tees, Talking That Geek-ish, and more. Today, use code Deuces during checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. Then, take a picture and post it on Instagram using the hashtag GeekSet for a chance to be featured on our page and a chance to win extra deals in the future. So don't hesitate. Drop by the website today. Listen to our latest episode, watch our latest videos, read our latest reviews, and shop with your favorite geeks. GeekSetPodcast.com. I feel you on that because we doing everything on our own. And one of the big things why is that look at this. So I look at shit like this as a huge accomplishment. Like me being able to sit down with you, I look like that as an accomplishment. But that was me reaching out to you, right? So like if I'm going to bring somebody to the team, they got to be able to do something bigger than this that I can't do. Like you got to be able to bring me with Will Smith and the Kevin Harts, because if I'm able to reach out to people and do this, you know what I'm saying, and get somebody like the Justin Richburgs on my platform to be able to interview, then what are you adding to this that I'm going to give you 20-30% of my money? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I look at a lot of shit. Like if you aren't going to be able to put me in places that I can't, then I don't need to bring you on the team. I'm just going to do the shit on my own.
Yeah, because the only thing I got right now is like an entertainment lawyer, and right now I'm trying to, get signed to an agency. Like right now, that's why I'm like looking for. That's what you're supposed to have, like a agent or something like that. You don't have to do it. Everybody think you got to do everything. You don't have to do everything on. Just people just don't. They don't know. They don't got the information. Yeah. And then again, also like a lot of these places, they don't know what to do with like people like me. That's why like I go through like managers and stuff like that. But they don't know what to do, like they lazy. They don't want to do the ground. They don't want to do the groundwork,
Yeah. Is it because of how laid back you are, or is it because of the black nerd? Because I got a whole theory on this whole black geek, black nerd life that we live.
No, it's just that they just lazy. They don't want to like put in the ground. They just don't want to work. That's all. That's literally all it is. Like people just lazy.
Yeah, nah.
That's why like now I'd rather have an agent versus a manager, because like I would prefer to have a like a team helping me, but it's just the way like the path that God's pushing me towards is an agent. and an entertainment lawyer. That's all I need. I can make all the connections, myself.
Yeah.
It'd be easier to have. That's like having a manager is for, like to connect you to people.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, it'd be easier because here's the difference between like me and a rapper, right? A rapper, they can go in the booth and they can go out and like link with people and all that shit. Like what I do is like it's very time consuming. I have to sit here for hours on end and shit like that. And by the time I'm done, I don't feel like going out and linking with people. I'd be tired, especially with me. Like I'm an outrovert, but I'm an introvert. Like my outrovert like will last like a good 15 minutes. After that, I'm good. I want to go home. But fortunately for me, because like the type of stuff I do, people will come to me regardless.
Yeah.
Like what I notice is like when like trying to network with people, like people kind of like tune you out, not really like want to talk to you. And just like for instance, like a thing that made me really not like networking, like a really bad experience. I got invited to a Sixers art show here in Philadelphia because I was never like invited to like nothing that happens in Philadelphia for some reason. I don't know. Like I've never been interviewed by no major places in Philly. The only thing like major I got interviewed by in Philly was the Philadelphia Inquirer, like a newspaper here in Philly. But they never bring up the article because I didn't have nothing like real big going on at the time, except for the art show. But the guy didn't want to do that because he already interviewed somebody that was at the art show. So it didn't make no sense. And then like when like the camera guy came like to the crib, I live at home, and he was looking around. I guess like he was expecting like a studio or some shit, and he was like, "This should set up." I'm like, "Yeah, what do I need a separate studio for?" It's not like I'm like hosting parties and
Right.
shit like that. So what do I need a separate studio for? But back on like the Sixers thing, like it kind of rubbed me the wrong way with like networking. It's like I got treated like total shit at that show. I understand like they got like other artists. I understand like they just like probably just hitting up random people, don't really know who it is. But I'm a humble boy. I'm not gonna like be all like in the motherfucking face, like who I am. Like no, I don't do that shit because it's just Instagram. It's just like it's just a follow on Instagram. It's like it's a big deal. It's a big deal, but not really a big deal in real life. Based on like how I was treated at that art show. Like I submitted 9 76ers like type drawings, like type shit for them to hang up. They only chose 2, but when I got there, I saw that like they took like screen grabs and just put them and just framed them up. Because the only reason I knew there was screen grabs was because obviously because my tag was still on there and the picture was stretched out because I sent them an email, everything properly stretched out. I meant everything proper and things like that. But like I was real heated over that, and I ended up talking shit like the whole time, and ended up running to like the curator. I didn't know like it was an Asian boy. I didn't know I was talking shit to him, but me and him got into a back and forth, and him telling me, "No, you can't do nothing like that. You can't take no screenshot and blow it up." I'm like, "Nigga, yes you can. What are you talking about?" But it was just real bad. And then like the Sixers staff wasn't like that good too when I'm trying to network them. I make clothing designs as well. I like making vintage t-shirt designs. I got like vintage t-shirt designs I made for the Sixers that I've been trying, to get to them. Like I say, I'm more than just like a person that just draws. I whole everything. Like I'm slowly becoming like a businessman and shit as time goes along. But that shit, like I don't fuck with the Sixers. I really don't. Maybe not a fan of them no more. Especially like they got a photographer there. I forget his name. He's a white boy. Like I ran into him before at another separate thing at Mitchell and Ness. I talked to him for a little bit, and then, like he like kind of like zone you out.
Yeah.
I met him at the art show. Tried to talk to him again. Gave me the cold shoulder. So I was like, fuck him. And just like I just don't like the Sixers organization as a whole. It's not the players, it's the people around it that make me not like it. And it's like it's just crazy because I got like hometown pride and shit like that, and for that like to happen. Maybe not really like fuck with like things from Philadelphia. And the fucked up part about that too, after all that shit, I'm not gonna say what's going on, but I am getting something. You can choose to keep this in or whatever, but I'm getting something sent to me by them, and they picked the right person to send something to. I'm gonna go off in that in that IG story, and that I'm not my IG story, my IG post. I'm gonna go off. I might go off, I might not. I don't know. But I'm gonna go off. They picked the right person. That shows you that like they don't be paying attention like who they be sending shit to. They just send shit to people because they have a following or because
Yeah.
they got high engagement. They don't give a fuck. So it's like I'm gonna go off on that Instagram caption.
That is definitely, you know what I'm saying, like crazy, because like the one thing that like if nobody knew about Justin Richburg and they went to your page and just like for the first time, it is very clear of your hometown Philly pride that you have. Like that is evident as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And then even if you do a little bit of research, like, you know what I'm saying, like one of the dope things, like it was one of the podcasts that you were doing and they were asking you about music, and like all of the producers and stuff that you named was Philly legends. A lot, specifically from the Motown era. Like you was like doing like throwing some producers that you fuck with. But so it was like you can see the Philly roots in you. So for, you know what I'm saying, that's always heartbreaking because it's the same thing. I'm out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Same thing. It's like you do so much shit and you love your city, but like that love is not reciprocated the way that you envisioned it. So it kind of taints your view on how you have like your relationship with the city, because you don't like I said, you don't want to shit on the city, but like you just feel it's kind of like being heartbroken. You're like, fam, damn, I wanted to be embraced, but like,
And one real shit is like, it's like I'm not saying fuck Philly, but like I've been having the feeling of like outgrowing it. Okay, like I don't want to leave my mom. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The older lady. I don't want to like leave her here by myself. But fuck it. I'm going to Atlanta once my bread get fully together. That's my long term goal, like to move to Atlanta, especially like having like an LLC.
Yeah.
You got them taxes. I don't want to be here, especially like once my show take off. Once it starts coming out and my comic, I'm not trying to get hit over the head with taxes. I rather go somewhere where taxes is.
You still want to be on Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah, I still want my art to get on Love and Hip Hop. Waiting for the right, it just ain't time yet. I've been telling everybody like the only thing I want to happen to my mom. One of her favorite shows, watching Love and Hip Hop. Only thing I want to do is somebody buy a piece of art off of me and they end up hitting it immediately and something like that. That's all I ask. But the COVID shit, slowing all that down.
Yeah. You know what? Also, that I appreciate, like, much love to all the other artists, stuff like that. But like, I feel like you don't do a lot of the bells and whistles that a lot of people do to promote their work. Like a lot of the times, you just post your shit, and then that shit just take the fuck off.
Yeah.
And I think that's dope because it means that the work is actually dope.
That's because you have to because I get asked that question a lot, like how you make stuff go. You just gotta pay attention. That's all. You just gotta pay, because somebody taught me before that like you have to make the stuff that everybody likes to get their attention, and then like once all eyes are on you, then you can create the stuff that you like. That's why like why you think like so many people make celebrity art, like to draw them in, and then they do their own stuff. I mean, that's what I did. But just because I did that don't necessarily mean it will work for you.
Yeah, everybody got to have their own path. But like another thing that you said, and that I wanted to know, that has it gotten better? Because like the last interview I saw, you were saying like you used to hate the comparison to Boondocks, but then you started understanding it wasn't the art style, it was more so the message or the parodies within it.
Yeah, that definitely that. Cause like that's another thing too. Like my life, my life is like I'm not bro. There's so much random shit be happening to me. Like Aaron Magruder, that's my that's like one of my idols. And then the Boondocks. So like that way of writing and doing things, like I'm losing train of thought. Doing things that's controversial and not really caring, just doing it. I really like adapted to that. So like I take a lot from like the Boondocks satire wise and things like that, and covering like different things. But it's funny though, because I went to their new like official page, like the show coming back. I looked and I'm blocked.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Man, you know what? There's a lot of fugazi shit happening over there, man. Like I fucking love the Boondocks, but like I don't know. Did you see that whole shit with John Witherspoon Jr.?
Yeah.
That shit it put a bad taste in my mouth, because I'm like, damn, like it sounded like somebody was over there on some bullshit, and I'm like, that sucks because I fucking love that show outside of season 4 because that's when Aaron McGruder didn't have any say so in it, and he wasn't involved in it. But it was just like, fam, like, you know what I'm saying? And then like
Look, I don't mean to cut you off. Okay,
no,
so I don't know if you can see. Okay, this is the art, the boy that's like the artist, that's doing character designs for the show, and then we go to it, see him block.
wow, that's wow. It's funny because like I interviewed Carl Jones a few episodes back, and he like I don't think he has any involvement in this new season with HBO either.
No, he not involved from what I know. He's not involved. But yeah, it's just weird. It's like it's so random because like
That is random as fuck.
I troll and stuff like that, but I never bothered them. But it's just so weird. It's like it's weird, like from something that like inspired you and stuff like that, and then like to go and see that you're blocked randomly. Cause if they were smart, because you know I do my own like Boondocks comics from time to time. If they were smart, you know, like they would hire me, you know, to do like the little mini comics here and there, you know, as the show coming close to being, you know, like being real. Niggas is retarded.
I'm wondering because I was looking because I went just to double check because I'm like, what it be definitely weird is if they use some of your shit and also blocked you, but they didn't.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I just want to know who runs the page or like why.
Right. Because your shit. Because here's what I like about when you do your Boondock shit versus when other people do it.
Yeah.
The way that you do the characters, it seems and sounds like what they would say if it was done by the official people. Like there's some people who would do it and you're like, fam, Riley wouldn't say that or Huey wouldn't say that. Like your shit actually does.
Yeah, because you know I'm a writer. I'm a writer as well. I know how to like my greatest skill is that like I can mimic. So it's like say like I can mimic people's styles, writing and drawing wise. So you know, only thing I gotta do is as long as I'm just familiar with the show or whatever it is, I can mimic it. You know, that's one of my greatest skills. That's what I'm saying. Like with this type of stuff, I'm very I have a lot of variety in my skill set. So you know, it's like it's only gonna take time for people like to hire me for certain stuff. That's why I'm creating like my own stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I'm just fortunate, you know, like that I've broken that like social media spell. What I mean by that is like I'll say it like this. Say like if Stan Lee was in his 20s or 30s right now, right? He would never came up with like he would never like created like half the characters that he made with because you know he'd be too concerned about like his following, his likes, and trying to bag a bitch, you know?
Right.
So I'm just happy I broke that spell, and that's why I'm like creating my stuff because people have to realize, man, it's like Instagram ain't gonna be around forever. Maybe it'll be like Facebook. It'll probably be like Facebook and be around forever, you know. But it just like what's after that. I'm not trying to be like no IG artist, you know.
Right.
I'm not trying to be no IG. I'm gonna be an IG artist. Who cares about just having a whole bunch of following but no money?
Well, you definitely did break that. I want to let you know. Like, you know, when I look at you, like I said, I don't look at you as an IG artist. I look at you as an artist. So like when you announced that you was doing the Manga comic book, I'm like, oh shit, I cannot wait for bro to drop the Patreon or buy a link because I am on that motherfucker ASAP.
I mean, cut you off, but right now, like what I'm doing, like with that, like the Patreon and stuff like that, is like the last thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to do is like I'm gonna be sending out to publishers and stuff like that. You know, like yeah, I do want to do it that way, like independent, but it's like I want it like to be as like big as possible. You know, because the way like I make all my stuff, you know, it's like once I'm done with it, you know, I'm not attached to nothing. You know,
Right.
except all over the place would be the only thing I'm attached to because that's something different. But like I said, this comic is like once I'm done with it, you know, like the person can have, you know, they can have it and do whatever they want with it, you know, not necessarily that with Kayla per se, but with anything that I create, you know.
Now, question, with it, I don't know, because I couldn't find it. Did you drop the name of the show that you're doing?
Yeah, so it's called All Over the Place.
All Over the Place. Oh, it is called that. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any voice actors already
My
That's
bro,
already attached to it?
my bro Ace Bang.
Okay.
If you know who he is, he a real funny dude. Real funny dude. He does like a lot of like cartoon voiceover work. If you seen my like one of my characters, Conspiracy Brother.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy Brother is part of All Over the Place. That's like a character that I'm testing out like for the show. I
Okay.
did a couple like skits with Conspiracy Brother. Like the latest thing I did with Conspiracy Brother was like Conspiracy Brother and Pokemon. You see that one?
I don't think I did.
I'm gonna send you the link and look at it. But yeah, Ace Vane is like he's a beast. He's somebody you definitely like should interview next.
Oh, definitely, man. I always love to have. Oh, you know what? Yep, I see. The video that you posted on the. Oh, okay. Yep, I have heard this voice because I did watch this "Fuck Them Kids" video that you put up. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to send you that joint right now.
Now,
You
most
check out.
definitely give him a heads up that I'm gonna hit him up. I'll definitely get him on next.
Yeah, he's dope. He's actually like one of them like Instagram comedians. Like he's actually funny. You know, he's one of the few that like I'll actually like, laugh out loud at. Like he's real funny. You
Is
should
there any?
you should
Yeah,
look
because
at.
I know there's a few Instagram comedians that you don't fuck with. We ain't got to say names, but like you, I heard you say that. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So quick question. So like one of the things that we always do is we do top fives. Now, I wanted to do like get a quick top five from you. Now you did say like you like a lot of trap beats. You listen to a lot of producers more than you listen to a lot of beats more than you listen to artists. Who was your top five producers for you?
Teddy Riley. Mike Will made it. Uh, Troy Taylor. He makes a lot of he an R&B producer. He makes a lot of stuff with Trey Songz. Uh, I said three so far, right?
Yep.
Uh, TM88 and is Travis Scott. I don't think Travis Scott's a producer.
I don't know if he produces his own shit. I know he works with a lot of producers, but I don't know if he does production.
Yeah. Or you know what? This person played Clay Picasso. He did like a lot of like Tory Lane's like beats, like them like epic music, them epic movie sounding
Okay.
beats. Like Lord, he made the beat Lord Knows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like a lot of his beats. They like very like real epic.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So Troy Taylor, Teddy Riley, TM88, Travis Scott, and the last person I just said, I forgot their name already. Oh yeah, Play.
Is there any?
Yeah. What you call it? Sorry, getting an echo.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? That's better.
Yeah.
All right.
All what?
Do you listen to any music like why you create or like?
No, I watch TV
Nah.
shows or I listen to podcasts. Like, you know, listening to music, you know, like to start like change the songs and shit like that. So I like the TV show I watch the most is like My Hero Academia, One Punch Man.
I was just about to ask you what other anime
I
you fuck
listen to
with.
like, oh yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, Joe Rogan. I listen to Brilliant Idiots sometimes. And you know, I just watch like random interviews. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place with stuff like that. It all depends on my mood. Cause like you know, if you can't really like with my type of shit, you really can't listen to rap like that. Cause it gets too distracting. And it's like I'll listen to I'll end up listening to like video game music. It's random to me, but I listen to a lot of video game music. So, you know,
Hey, low key video game music be slapping. Like we did a whole episode about video game music. So like, you know what I'm saying? I do music myself, but I remember back when I was a kid, like the pause menu on the 007 GoldenEye, that beat used to go hard. I don't know if you, whenever you get a chance, look it up.
We're always like stuck with PlayStation. The thing I listen to the most is I listen to like Metal Gear Solid music.
Metal Gear Solid used to have a dope ass soundtrack with it.
For some reason, this one like I never owned this like Sonic game. I guess it's called Sonic Colors, but it's just like this final boss stage music. It's like the most epic thing ever. It makes no sense for a Sonic game to have like epic music like this.
Hey, some of them games. So we when we did the episode that we was talking about like just pause menu music and just shit like that, we started looking into like some producers, and there's some producers like it's the same few people, but like they put work in and they get paid a lot of money to do that shit. Like but like some of them like they go hard on they go hard on that production. It's not just like let me just drum up something. Like no, the niggas really go in.
I mean, cause your number one classic since you say like that, like with Sonic is that I forget the name of that song on Dreamcast, Sonic Adventures with the whale. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
that's the number one thing. That's so random. I was trying to find like the song, but the Sonic thing, I'll tell you, it's like epic for no reason, and then it just bound down. I'll always remember that. Or like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the tower music. Yeah, that's another thing. That's a weird game. Like why they got like the music selection that's so weird. I guess for a fighting game, it's like so like
this what I think happened with that. When you hear those epic games, I think it's somebody who's truly a producer and they're like, fuck that shit. I'm about to get my 5 seconds of fame on this game right here, and they go hard because there be some you like, fam, I can't hear somebody body in this beat. Like it's just like it's one of those ones like it'd be so epic. Like it's just like
found it. Sonic
Color one.
That don't sound like it belongs to no Sonic. Hold on.
Nah, it doesn't. Especially Sonic Colors. Like, you're like, wait, what?
I'm trying to get to the build where it builds up.
In post, I'm going to throw it in over this so that way the listeners can hear that shit.
Okay, hold on, let me try to get to where it gets hype. Like some anime shit, but it still don't make no sense for it.
Anime be having some dope ass ones because like the new Dragon Ball Super, like when Goku turned Ultra Instinct, that's my shit.
Yeah, I can't do Dragon Ball. Like when I was little, like I could watch Dragon Ball, but it drags on too long.
It definitely drags on too long. It's nostalgic for me. It's one of the ones like it's like good old faithful for me.
I know I can't do that, or I can't do Naruto. But what I found out is like the reason why like Dragon Ball Z is like that when you think about it, it's technically a Western.
Yeah.
Like them standoffs like that is a Western.
Yep.
That's why it put me to sleep. Like if I want to go to sleep, I'll put on Dragon Ball Z.
Well, see, I always tell people like if you just want something like just pure, like you said, like the Western, just standoff, fighting, constant fighting, you know what I'm saying? OP power level up. Dragon Ball Z is where you go. If you're looking for story, Dragon Ball is not like you're not gonna get a dope ass story from Dragon Ball.
That's what it is, because like you know, like cool action stuff is all right, but it's like there ain't no package. That's why like Yu Hakusho is like one of those like animes like I can like watch from beginning to end because the story plus the action. The same thing like with My Hero Academia and yeah, I can say that My Hero Academia and One Punch Man. I can't say about One Punch Man. I get bored sometimes. Just one.
Have you tried Tower of a God yet?
No, I never heard of it. I watch them a lot, but Berserk, 1997 Berserk on YouTube. That's a real good like anime, like story wise.
Yeah. Do you be going to these cons? Do you be going to the conventions and shit? I feel like you would body being out there, bro. Like if you had prints and shit like that, like I think niggas would fuck with you heavy out there.
Yeah, you would think that like like when I put like I don't really like focus on like selling stuff anymore because like my followers they don't really support like that. They're like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a lot of times they only like be on me is like when they see me do something big or like if a certain celebrity give me a shout out or something like that. I'm not saying not all of them are like
Right.
that, but
I'm calling it, man. Shit gonna change once the show come out and the manga come out, and you're gonna be able to build
yeah,
like the backstory and shit like that. Motherfuckers gonna gravitate to it and they gonna fuck with it, bro.
yeah, I know it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna talk down on that because that's going to ring off no matter what. As far as like social media, like people don't really have like real fans like that, or like say like for example like that right there, right that
Yeah.
the DZ pay in full thing. I didn't like really start selling like a lot of T-shirts and posters until like Skepta shared it after a person so happened to buy like the biggest size from me, and then that's when it rung off, and I made like $7,000 off the print in like a day. So
I'm surprised though. Like when I first saw that, that's the one of the first thing I said. I was like, bro, if he has these on campuses, I know this motherfucker is going flying off the shelf.
yeah, and then it's like everybody kept on like, oh, can you make like another one? Since like everybody complained that I had Goku and Vegeta like in the wrong spot, and I made like a Super Saiyan version, and you would think like, okay, everybody want this, and of course they're gonna make this go viral. That second one didn't do shit. That's why I don't listen to people like, oh, make another one. Like, no, I'm not a fan of sequels.
Yeah. All right. So another top five artists, like as far as not music artists, as far as what you do. You ain't got none.
No, not like.
Not anything you can ring off. I know, like I said, you said Aaron McGruder is one of your influences. Is there any? Wouldn't like this? Maybe not start put in top five. Is there outside? Because I know you said you took influence from. What not influence? You said Dragon Ball and Yu-Gi-Oh taught you detail.
Yeah, so like Aaron Magruder, and I can't pronounce the guy's name that made Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Terry. I always fuck his name up, but I know you're talking about.
Let's not even try because we're not trying to cancel out about Asians. Let's not do it to ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, those like basically like the only two.
All right, so I'm gonna ask a cliche question, but I genuinely want to know what is next, man? What is outside of the manga, outside of like when will you be like when will you feel a sense of accomplishment for you personally?
Once I can pay up, will make me feel accomplished. Once I can pay all my mom bills, like I said, move to Atlanta. That's a long-term goal. That's really it.
That's really it.
That's really it. And put my dad in nursing home.
All right. So one last thing that we do, we give a recommendation for our listeners and our viewers to check out. It could be something that you think they should watch, read, listen to, anything. Do you have any recommendations you would like to give our?
Everybody should watch Mission Impossible Fallout, the last Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
That movie banging as shit, like it's way better than any of the Marvel movies because like they do things that you've never seen before. That's the whole thing. Like they don't just be throwing like regular punches.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Mission Impossible Fallout, the latest
statement. That's a great statement. People love the Marvels, bro.
No, cause I mean, like, come on. It's like an end game. Like, why is like the Marvel? Why is they're superheroes? The last thing you should be doing is doing regular punches.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, but that's comic book in general, man.
They focus too much on CG. Just like everybody was in love with the Black Panther movie. It was cool for what it is, for being the first of its type, but it's like, oh my God, the fight scenes in that was fucking trash. Like that last CG fight, Like, come on. You tell me they can't just do their own fucking stunts. That's why I appreciate movies like Mission Impossible, because like they actually make you excited for the fights. And you know, like Tom Cruise is going to survive at the end. At least like you feel like some type of danger for him.
You ain't got no love for Tom Holland. He does his own stunts. It's like, nah, you ain't fucking with it.
No, I mean, what's so special about the new Spider-Man movies?
I mean, I fuck with him, bro. But I'm a comic book head, so like anytime I get to see my comic books come to life, I fuck with. I like.
It's so weird, man. It's like I remember when Charlamagne like had me on Brilliant Idiots like the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a comic, you know, like he's a comic book chemistry myself. I've never read comics before in my life, you know, until like recent, like until I started like no, that's a lie. I mean, like I skimmed through when I was little.
Right.
It was never a comic book. It was a manga.
Yeah.
I looked at manga, so I never read comics. Just, you know, just watch cartoons and stuff like that. You know, like
yeah.
It's just weird. Like the only comics that I did own before I gave them away to somebody else that I feel those like they needed like to do research on them. I had like the regular Dragon Ball set, and I had Marvel Civil War, and you know I was just doing that so I can like study like how like comics and mangas are.
Right.
And that I don't read no comics. I got such a short attention span, dog. I'll let you know something. I ain't read a single book in my. I ain't finished a single book in my life. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I finished 2 audiobooks.
Hey, audiobooks is a blessing. I think that's why people fuck with podcasts so much, because you can get that knowledge and you don't have to sit there and flip and read through the pages and shit.
It's just so crazy to me. It's like I don't have the patience to read, but I'm making a comic book. And majority of my stuff, I do a lot of writing, so it's just weird, like how that is. Like
I just like to create. It's not as weird as you think. You're a creator, man. You like to put stuff
I have
out.
time to like write this down, but in the back of my head, I'm like, man, niggas is not gonna be reading this shit. It's just like when I sent out a link to like people like to like give me feedback on my comic on the first comic book. Like the first Caleb comic book is 30 manga. The first manga is 31 pages. The second book is 17 pages. But with the first one, ain't no way somebody gonna finish the whole thing in 2 minutes and be talking about amazing. The fuck? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
the first book is dialogue heavy. You know, I can see like when people get see the second issue, you know, they'll be able to skim through it because not that much like
right.
Dialogue going on. But like I was like, somebody sent me like I sent to somebody and then a minute later talking about amazing. Bitch, like that's 31 pages. You can get through no fucking 31 pages and understand everything that's going on. Fuck out of here. That's
hey man, if you ever
think about what people have pissed me the fuck off is like, man, that's why a lot of people be like so out of touch. Is like when you ask for feedback, you know, only reason like there's like quote unquote yes men and shit like that, just because they're not really paying attention and saying like, yeah, man, it's hot. Did you listen to it? Oh yeah, it was hot. It's hot. What do you think about it? It's cool. It's cool. You ain't got no real opinion. It's cool. I told you it was all right.
Nah, see. So one of the things that like we started doing over here, and I'll extend that hand to you. So everybody that I interview, I always tell them, yo, I don't know if you have a mailing list, if you have a review board or shit like that, but we are a group of black geeks that love this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anime, mangas, comic books and shit like that. So if you pushing out something and you need some extra press on it, add us to that list. If you have any early viewings that you want some actual feedback on, add us to that list, because like that's the shit that we do. And because I want to see my, you know what I'm saying, my niggas win, like when I'm looking at it, I'm not looking at it just to be that yes man. I'm gonna give you true, honest feedback, because like I consume so much content. I'm watching so many animes, I'm reading so many mangas and comic books. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm in it and I'm like, you know what? This is a representation of this black culture. I don't want anybody out here looking fugazi. So I'm gonna let people know what I truly believe, what I truly think, and shit like that, right? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I told that to Carl Jones. I told that to, you know what I'm saying, a couple of content creators that we fuck with. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yo, send that shit through, because, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, and like, one of the things that you touched on.
I just looked them up. You follow me.
Yeah. What up?
Yeah, he followed me. I just looked. I got it.
Yeah. One of the things that you said in a podcast or interview that I 100% agree with you on, somebody was like, you was giving your how you like you used to like do the screenshots of a celebrity posted on your IG stories and shit, but then you were saying like you had stopped that because it seems as if like it'll make people not want to fuck with you because it's like, oh, you can't keep a secret, or you can't hold water, right? And that was, I was like, see, that's the same shit that I be on, because like this dealing of people that we've been fucking with this podcast shit and this Black Geek shit, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not posting everything immediately when it happens, because I want that shit to happen. I want when it happens, people find out. When the official thing come out, like, oh shit, Geek Set was a part of that. Like, that's the same type of shit. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like my email, I've gotten a whole lot of exclusive looks and shit of things where I'm like, all right, I'm just going to get the feedback and take it and leave it at that. If they want us to do an article on it, or they want us to talk about it on the podcast, that's always open. We'll definitely do so. But it's like, I like building that community of people that you can trust, that you can bounce ideas off of without it hitting that public. So like when you did say that, when you did tell that story about how like your unfinished artwork got put out, like immediately I'm triggered like that. That's trash as fuck, because as an artist himself, like, you know what I'm saying? Like unfinished work is not complete. So for that to get viewed by the public, that definitely is infuriating, because it's like, damn, that's not even how it was supposed to be represented in the light.
Right, because that shit was like nutty, but like I need. It's important to have feedback. I need feedback. Is there any way you can get me in contact with Carl Jones? Like
I
I
got you. I got you.
contact with Bull. I seen that you interviewed Kev on stage. How did that? I didn't get a chance like to watch the interview, but how that started?
Same thing, bro. So my philosophy on everything is just reach out. The worst anybody can say is no. And I don't take offense if somebody says no. There's a couple of people that I reached out to that said no, or they can't do it, or at this moment they can't. I'm like, cool, I'll get you when it is. Like same thing with you. Like me and you, I've been trying to get this interview with you for a while. We just haven't been able to get it done. But I never took slighted on when you was like, oh, yeah, let me check it out. Let me do this, because I know how busy niggas is, and I know how, what I'm saying, it takes that time, right?
It's the
So same thing.
it's the same thing with me. 'Cause, it's like 'cause I don't like actively like I try to be active like with checking my DMs, but it's like after a while it's like so many like people, it's
Yeah.
hard to remember. And that's what a lot of people like tend like to understand. Like same way when I reach out to people, like I was reaching out like one like the people I want to send the comic book to see if it can get published through them. It's a guy that made Stag Shop because he relaunching his comic book company, and like everybody knows on the black type time, so it's like, all right, I'll go to him first. I reached out through the through his comic Instagram and then his personal Instagram. I can't find his email. I was reaching out to him. That's another thing too about black people. Like all the support. I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about this in general. Like all the support black business stuff, but it's like when we reach out, like nobody be responding.
Yeah, that it be tough sometimes. But like I said, I did the same thing. Like I said, I reached out to Kev. Kev was like, yeah, so let's make it happen. We got on there. We did the interview. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? We exchanged contacts, and now that's a person that I can reach out to. Because like I said, I always extend. I don't never want to overstay my welcome, but I always say, look, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm working on. This is the things that I'm doing. I would love to be able to continue to speak with you if I need it, right? And then like I take that as like I'm not gonna hit you up every time. So like I'm not hitting everybody up every time. Like, yo, check this out, check this out, check this out. But when it makes sense and it's something that I'm like, all right, let me see if I can bounce it off of it, right? So same thing, like you said, like I gave that same spill to Carl. I'm gonna hit him up like, look, hey bro, you know what I'm saying? I just interviewed Justin Richburg. He said he want to get in contact with you. Like I'm gonna do the intro for you. You know what I'm saying? See if I can make that happen, because
That's
I
definitely a good
make
look.
that connection.
That's definitely a good look. 'Cause like I said, I got like shows and stuff like that. I'm trying to get out there. So you're definitely a person I need to like be in contact with and shit. Even though I have like my person that's like helping me out, I'm gonna like leave that a secret. I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave that
Hey
secret
man,
now.
people
But
helping people is big, man. Like you said, it's hard because a lot of people try to gatekeep. But when you get to that point where people don't, and you can help each other out, like you know what I'm saying? Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be dope as fuck to see you and Carl Jones work together. Like, I would be ecstatic of that shit.
Yeah, and I'll be able to ask him, who the fuck blocked me? Yeah, like I said, I gotta stop like trolling. I'll be trolling Kev's page. I'll just leave a comment saying titties. I'll delete it like real quick afterwards.
Yeah. Now he a good dude, man. Like he takes jokes very fucking well too. So like he probably laugh at your trolls. Like it probably ain't even hitting like how you think it is. But all right, man. For the people, just for the ones who don't know, how can they find you, man?
Just look me up on Instagram, Justin_Richburg, Twitter _Justin Richburg, Facebook, Justin Richburg. Type in Tyler Perry's son, I'll pop up on Google. You know.
All right, man.
You're playing ways to be in contact with me, but if you want to talk business, please email me, because like, don't be mad with me if I forget to respond back to you. That's what the email is for. You'd be surprised how many people email me throughout the week. I'll get like probably at the most 5 emails during the week. Everybody else will DM me. It makes no sense. That's why I took it out my all my bios, because like, what's even the point?
Yeah.
But somehow the Sixers found it. You know, I'm gonna talk shit once the thing comes.
Oh shit, I can let you know how I found it. If you go to your page, even though you took it out your bio,
It's the email.
Yeah, it still got the email button.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like, they'll skim through it. That's why I'm just saying.
Ah, shit, nah.
They got the right one though. Well, I'm trying to see if Tyler Perry still pop up. Tyler Perry's son.
See, I'm gonna Google it too.
It probably disappeared. I remember at one point it was popping up around like TMZ thing. I'll see. Oh, hold on. Damn it.
That's hilarious, bro. Well, we're gonna keep that on. We're gonna keep that rocking. You know what I'm saying? So that way, you know what I'm saying, he just became a billionaire. So you know what I'm saying? There's back child support that's old.
Yeah, shit.
Back child support that's old. So you know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure that he gets put on notice. You know?
Yeah, fuck that nigga. I need my coins.
All right, well, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. This has been One-on-One with Deuces. I've been Deuces. This has been the amazing Justin Richburg, and we appreciate y'all viewing in, man.
Thank you.
You like that video? Man, thank you for watching. We truly appreciate it. We got so many more videos on our page, so make sure you check them out over here. Hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so that way you can always be notified anytime we release a new video. You already know how Geek Set get down. We got so much coming for y'all, man. Check it out. Stay in tune.
There was a time where hip-hop culture and geek culture were at odds.